in the past. Still I fall in love so easily. I fall in love too fast. What up? I think I fell in love again. Got another trumpet. Welcome to the Trumpet Dungeon, folks. Hope you had a good weekend. I know we did. A little kid Halloween thing. But just real quick, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Jonathan, and this is Donalds Trumpets Vintage Horns. Did he say Donalds Trumpets? I did. But don't worry, this channel ain't no politic channel. This is all about brass and brass alone. What happened was my dad Donald, when he passed, God rest his soul, left me a lot of really cool vintage horns. So I decided to create this channel in his honor to catalog each one of these amazing pieces of history before they are released back into the wild. You're free. You're free to go. So what are we looking at today? Actually, wait, let me tell you something real quick. Just so you're aware once I start playing these horns. I've been playing trumpet for about 6 months. So definitely wasn't my thing my whole life. In fact, I thought it was kind of nerdy. Still do in a way, but have fallen in love with this instrument. Something miraculous happened. So my dad, I grew up with him playing trumpet all my life. But when he passed, it was as if his passion for the instrument just was like transferred to me. And that's not an understatement. I would dare to venture to say that I'm probably a little bit more fanatical than he is, but who knows? Can't argue there. But what are we looking at today? Well, I fall in love too easily, and it looks like I've fallen in love with this Constellation. It's by CONN, Constellation. This is a cool trumpet. I definitely, CONN overall, I'm not as big of a fan, I'll be honest right away, as I am with, let's straighten this video up. What the heck are we doing here? I'm not as big of a fan as I am with some of the other trumpet manufacturers. And some of it might just be silly. One of them is just the look of it. You'll notice that the CONN wraps are a little bit wider than a traditional trumpet. Well, a lot of the trumpets that I'm used to playing. Martin Committee, for example, has got the narrow wrap to it. But this is a great trumpet, I'm not gonna lie. It's got a great tone. It has some of the features on there that, I don't know if these are kind of bells and whistles or what they add to them over time, but it's got the first valve trigger, and then just obviously just your typical third valve slide. A little bit about this one. This is an older model Constellation. I think this probably dates around 1964 or 1965. One of the ways you can tell on the Constellations, this is a 38B, by the way, Bravo. And on the older model Constellations, if we can see this here, on the lead pipe or the mouthpiece receiver, you can't really see it, but it just says B instead of 38B. So that's one way you can tell. This was actually, I took a note off of the CONN Loyalist. I thought this was pretty interesting. But this is what CONN said in their catalog at the time with this particular one. The last word in trumpets, right? Isn't that CONN? Everything is going to be okay now if you buy this trumpet. But the last word in trumpets, this brand new model is a fitting companion to the 28A Constellation cornet. Many artists use both the cornet and the small combo use, wait, hold on here. And the trumpet for larger groups and solo work. So yeah, cornet and small combo used for larger groups and solo work. So this is where I wanted to mention this. Features amazing Electro D bell. Top spring clickless Crysteel valves, non-corroding micro-finished mouthpiece, and scientific Cali bore. Nylon piston guide reduces valve noise at the same time adding longer life to the part as compared to formal metal guide. Blah, 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 blah. But check this out. So that Electro D, let's see if I can find that real quick, because that's actually interesting. So the Electro D process, one of the former CONN employees said, this appears to be confirmed in the 60s by their product manual, that Electro D is a process similar to Caprian using non-copper metals. So just like the copper colored bells that they have, the Caprian bells, this is similar, but they're using non-copper metals. And the former employee said that the Electro D bell was a brass bell, electrolytically plated with copper and then electrolytically plated with nickel. So potentially underneath this nickel plating right here is copper, and then underneath the copper is brass. And you could tell, I could tell this right away, this was a nickel plated horn, mainly because it doesn't have any tarnish on there. I'm starting to get an eye for different finishes and whatnot. Finishes. Speaking of finishes, as you could see probably when I was showing that mouthpiece receiver, the finish is worn out through here. There's no corrosion or anything that I saw through the horn, but you can definitely see it. Let me turn this light off for a second and see if it helps to see the condition. Let's see. Well, you get the idea. Overall though, I mean, really well preserved. What do I know? Any additional stuff about this trumpet? I know that it is in good condition, as I mentioned. The finish leaves a little to be desired, but the valves, perfect. I mean, not perfect, but pretty doggone good, as is typical for most of these horns. All the slides move freely, yada yada. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll do a little bit different this time, and I usually do these videos in the morning, so I'm not warmed up. I'm not a trumpet player, right? I do consider myself a trumpet enthusiast, but so there's my excuse for jacking this up a little bit. But I'll just play a scale. Let's do just the scale of C. Oh, I did find a little teeny ding right there. Look at that. You can't even, yeah, there it is right there. So a little teeny ding in the bell. But yeah, let's just do, let's try to get up to high C. Like I said, we'll see how this goes. All right, so without further ado, let's jump into this. Okay, so I got to B. So you get the point. Higher upper register is obviously a little bit more difficult, but okay, so it does make it up there. I feel like I'm gonna faint. All right, so that didn't work out as I had planned, but you get the point. I could hear it for a second, that high C. So let's jump in though. Chris Bodie has been my repertoire, so we'll do When I Fall in Love. And I did not bring my Martin Committee, so we're gonna have to change it up a little bit. And you know what? I would say today we're going to compare this lovely horn to, let's do a recording. Let's do an olds recording. Let's see what we think. Well, hey. Looks like we got a little. So this boy wants to eat. ¿Quieres comer? Okay. Necesito tocar un poquito. Y espérame, okay? So we have a special guest here today. This lovely little child. Thing number 2. All right, When I Fall in Love, and then we're going to wrap this up because somebody's hungry. So let's do this. I don't know if I like that one right away. Let's do the upper C scale. So I was able to make it up there on that one. Let's try this. By the way, look at the size of the bell compared to this recording. Holy crap. It's like massive, massive bell. So, all right. So I think that it's a little bit harder to hit the upper register on the Constellation. I think overall, the playability of the Constellation compared to the recording is easier. You can hear as I'm playing through the recording when I'm slotting through the notes that it's kind of not hitting them exactly. So yeah, I would say this one's definitely more of an accuracy trumpet. Can't speak to the intonation itself, like as far as if the notes are in tune or not, but actually slotting between the notes was excellent. Did I just say what I said? That will make you lightheaded. Ugh. Man, reading music's easy. Ugh. Trying to stay awake when you're playing is another story. Holy crap, that was a head rush in the morning. All right, so I would say if I had to choose, if I had to pick, we got a winner, folks. It's the Olds Recording. You can't beat it. I do like the valve buttons on the Constellation, but again, those are valve buttons. Big deal. But yeah, overall, I like this better. We got a winner, folks. It is the Olds Recording. What do you say? You know, got to be honest on these video reviews. I do like the Constellation, though. I mean, and again, it's not always apples to apples. The Olds Recording costs more than an Olds Constellation would typically. So when you factor everything in, I mean, I don't know. This is a great trumpet, though. The Constellation, I'll probably keep one of them for myself. So I would say this reminds me a lot of a 8B lightweight artist that I just sold. Just the way of the feel in your hands and how it hits the notes, etc. But good horn. Be on the lookout for it. It's coming to a neighborhood near you. Thanks again. Have you subscribed? Come on. I've asked you like 45 times so far. So if you made it this far, you either like Jonathan or you like vintage trumpets. And I'm gonna guess you like vintage trumpets. So go ahead. Boom. Hit that button. Subscribe. Set the alerts so you don't miss any of these videos. These horns go on the market, right? So if you see something that you like, you don't want to watch it 6 months later after it's already gone. So yeah, make sure to click subscribe. Also too, I am more than open to comments. One thing I've learned about trumpet players is they're very opinionated and sometimes a little rude at how they come across. That's all good. Do it up. I need knowledge. I need information. This channel is created for trumpet enthusiasts, not just for myself, although I do hope to have 1 million views and $1 million one day, but you get the point. So yeah, definitely make sure to comment. Let me know your thoughts. And hey, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.